Hi, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about how to write a strong body paragraph. This workshop is going to focus on all the different parts of body paragraphs and what you'll need to include in order to make sure that your body paragraphs are doing what they are meant to do. First off, what is a body paragraph? The body paragraphs of your essay contain nearly all of your information. These paragraphs are used to provide evidence to support your main claim or your thesis statement. If your essay is a sandwich, you think about your introduction and the conclusion as the bread, and the body paragraphs are the meat. You can't have a sandwich without it. It's important to think about T. So what do I mean by T? T is an acronym that I like to use when talking about body paragraphs. Let's talk about what each letter stands for. So for the T, we have topic sentence. The E is evidence, and the A stands for analysis. We're going to go into what each of these parts means next. First comes the topic sentence. A topic sentence functions to tell the reader what to expect from a specific body paragraph. Every single piece of your paragraph should relate back to the topic sentence. Each topic sentence should relate back to your thesis. You could think about your thesis statement as the root of a tree, which branches then up into the topic sentence, and all the leaves are all the little bits that go into the body paragraph. If you find yourself writing about things that don't fit the topic sentence, but are still relevant to your paper, you might want to think about starting a fresh paragraph. Moving on, let's talk about evidence. Everything that needs a citation should go in a body paragraph. Evidence should not be in the introduction or in the conclusion of a paper. Anything that requires a citation constitutes as evidence. Evidence should always be properly introduced and cited afterwards. Make sure your evidence is relevant to your topic sentence. When I say you should introduce your evidence, what I mean is that you should not just simply drop a quote into the middle of your paragraph. Instead, you want to take time to introduce the quote. Say where it's coming from or who is saying it. And the same thing should happen if you're using paraphrase or something like that. You want to just make sure that you're telling your audience where the information is coming from. Following our evidence section, we have analysis. You can't dump evidence into your paper and allow it to speak for itself. You must provide analysis to add to the conversation and to make connections between your evidence and the points you are trying to make. Similarly to how we have to introduce a quote, we have to close out a quote with our analysis. The analysis will then explain to the reader why you're including this specific piece of evidence and how is it relevant to the rest of your paper. Let's take a look at an example paragraph. This paragraph was written fitting the thesis at the top. So the thesis statement that we are thinking of when we are reading this paragraph is writing tutoring is a necessary service, and it is the duty of the university to provide to their students. When we're looking at this paragraph, we want to make sure that it ties back to this thesis. Let me read the paragraph for you now, or you can pause and read it to yourself. Around the country, universities that provide tutoring for their students see student bodies that thrive academically. In her survey of students who use the Writing Center at Fake University, Highland discovered that 80% of students who attended writing tutoring saw better grades than before they began attending sessions. Additionally, professors at Made Up University, who encourage students to use tutoring services, tended to boast higher rates of course completion with better scores. When looking both at this anecdotal and real data, it paints a very positive picture of the effect writing tutoring has on a college campus. Take a moment now and think to yourself, did this hit all the beats? Do you see T here? The highlighted sections of each of the main body parts, the highlighted sections represent each of the main parts of a body paragraph. So our yellow highlighted section here is our topic sentence. Think about it. Does this topic sentence relate back to the thesis statement? Well, the thesis statement is talking about writing tutoring and how it's important for universities to provide it for their students. The topic sentence agrees with that and talks more specifically about data and how it affects and how you can see the effects of writing tutoring. The red section is our evidence. We have two pieces of evidence here, both of which I made up for the example here. which is fine if you're doing an example like this, but please don't make up data when you are writing a real paper. We talk about evidence and ask yourself, does this evidence support the topic sentence? It does. The topic sentence talks about how universities that provide tutoring see their students' bodies thrive academically. Both pieces of evidence that we see here prove that the students are thriving because of writing tutoring. Our blue sentence is about analysis. It takes both of those pieces of evidence and talks about why it is relevant and ties it back again to the topic sentence, which in turn ties it to the thesis. Why don't you try it for yourselves? Here's an example of an exercise you can do to practice using T in all of your body paragraphs. Write a body paragraph for an essay arguing the following topic. You can assume the thesis statement is something along the lines of this topic, and you may also use pretend evidence just like I did in my example. The important part of this practice is making sure that your paragraph has all of the parts, being a topic sentence, evidence, and analysis. For this exercise, think about the topic of professors allowing technology in their classrooms. If you'd like, you could take a pause and go back to other points in this video to remind yourself what are the important parts of writing a body paragraph for your essay. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you for watching. If you need any additional support, you can visit the Learning Support Services in room L108 in the library. I really hope to see you there, and I hope you have a pleasant rest of your day. Good luck writing.